Hi and welcome. I'm Becky Wilson here for Leicester Jazz House. I'm here at the Crumbling Cookie with Paul Dunmall. Hi.
Hiya.
Firstly, just to start off, could you just tell us a bit about yourself and what your performance is about tonight?
Well, I'm a saxophone player. Been playing for a long time, I'm trying to think. 48 years. And tonight is music dedicated to John Coltrane, who's been my absolute idol, and I think for me the greatest saxophone player, maybe the greatest jazz musician of all time for me. So I'm 60 now and finally feel like I can contribute some music to him, or his music, so play some of his music for him. So that's the idea for me tonight, to be here.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, can you just tell us, how did you actually get into jazz music and being a musician in general?
That's a long story, but let's say I just came into it, you know, by various routes. And I listened to, the first saxophone players were probably King Curtis, Junior Walker. I was in a soul band playing that, and then gradually you hear some other musicians and other saxophone players, and I used to grab every saxophone player I could and talk to them about, you know, mouthpieces and everything, you know. And gradually, it takes years and years, but slowly I was attracted to the jazz playing and the strength of those guys, like Coltrane, Albert Ayler, and, you know, all those strong players, Sonny Rollins, Dexter Gordon. And I thought, this is how I want to play. But I was so far from being able to play like that. I thought, oh, God, you know, but I'm going to work at it. And I worked hard and hard every day, practiced every day. And slowly, little by little, there's a little improvement. I think, wow, that almost sounded all right. So, you know, that's encouragement. So, you know, as I say, I'm 60 now and I finally feel that I've got something to say to the great John Coltrane, you know, but so it's a lifetime's work. Slowly working at it. And, you know, I just love the music. I loved it when I was a teenager, heard it. I was so excited. I'd never heard music like it before. But I played in all, you know, I was classically taught on clarinet. And I played in, you know, all sorts of rock bands, funk bands, classical music. So it's just a lifetime's work.
Well, I mean, you've already mentioned like some of your influences and such there, but and it's one cliche question, but what was the first jazz album that you ever brought?
I remember the first album I ever bought was Gino Washington. Right, first jazz record I ever bought. God, that was... I can't remember the first jazz album.
Well, what would you say was the most memorable album for you?
Sonship, John Coltrane. I think when I bought that was staggering. But I bought everybody, anything with a saxophone player on the front, good to have it, checked it out. But I do remember Sonship, you know, and it was like a religious experience. I'd go and I'd have a loft in the house and I'd lay in the loft. I was 17 years old. Lights out, put the LP on, horrible LPs, and lay there and listen to it and just latch out. And I'd do that night after night, you know. Yeah. So yeah, can't remember the first one, but that one stands out.
Fantastic. What's your thoughts on the jazz scene today in comparison to what you grew up with?
Well, I think the standard of playing, I mean, it's actually quite a difficult question. The standard of young people now is phenomenal. I think they play so fantastic. But yeah, I still don't hear the impact of people like Coltrane, Charlie Mingus, Miles Davis. I don't hear figures like that anymore, you know, Cecil Taylor, I used to like Sonny Rollins, Dexter Gordon. I don't hear that. So I keep going back then, but I might be an old guy, you know, and thinking it was always good in the past. I don't know. So, but that's the way I feel about it. I just haven't heard, you know, things of that strength. It may be out there, I don't know. But as I say, the standard of young people coming out of conservatoires and all that, or wherever, is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I don't know where they're going to work. And it's scary. Jazz life is a scary, scary thing to survive, you know. I've seen the work diminish. You know, we're working for a lot less money than we used to. I mean, before Thatcher, I know this is boring in history now, but before Thatcher, I used to work a lot, very good paid gigs, lots of work. You could, you know, 3 tours of the UK, fantastic. Art centres, university, all that was cut. And then you were left with little clubs and societies and all that. So it's very tough, I think. So, you know, young players, if they've got the bug, if they can't help it, they want to play, it's a dedication, it's a wonderful life, but tough.
Well, kind of almost, my next question kind of almost leads on to that. What advice would you give to a young person that really desperately wants to become a jazz musician, or a musician of any kind? What advice would you give them nowadays, getting started?
Play as many gigs as possible of different music. You know, just play everything you can get your hands on. Put your face about it. There's no point sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring. It's not going to ring. So you've got to go out, put your face about. Hello, can I play? You've got to be you work for nothing. Yeah. Do a wedding, you meet someone, or I don't know. You just do everything. Playing a funk band, you get a session to play a spaghetti advert or something. Do it all, and then later in life you'll filter what you want to do. But when you're playing, see, practicing at home is practice. Practice means that it's practice. You're practicing for the real thing, which is the gig, or playing in public, or the recording. So it's no point at home practice, and not playing in public. If you're young and you're getting it, you've got a passion for it, get out and play to people. And because you can practice this stuff and it sounds brilliant. Oh, this is fantastic. You go out and play it live, it all disappears because it's for real. So I think for young players, do as many gigs as you possibly can. And if you can't get any gigs, get your own gigs sorted out. Get a pub somewhere or somewhere. Rent the room or get a few of you and play, and people will come. And you know, even if you're playing with one person, which I have done many times, but the music's been so strong. You know, you're playing with dedicated guys, and you find things in the music which you will never ever find practicing. So if you've got the bug and you've got the heart, and music is you want that to be your life. As I say, tough, but sometimes you ain't got a choice. It's your passion. And you have to do it, and best of luck. And who knows what can happen? Who knows what can happen? And there are many rewards for your own development as a person, and meeting people, and going out in the world. And you know, as I say, it's a great life. It's just there's not much money around, and it's difficult to have a family life. But I could be wrong. Don't listen to any of that. It could be totally different for someone else. It's only what I'm saying. I've learned from other people as well, but who knows?
Well, you've talked about passion there, and just going on a bit more about your own personal passions. Is there any particular tune that you love to play that's in your repertoire that, you know, really gets you going? You think, oh, I can't wait to play this. You know, what is it about that song that you really love?
The song I love most of all is Improvising. That is it. That's it. It's the greatest song of the lot. You know, it's very unusual, this tribute I'm doing to Coltrane. I played improvised, well, I still play improvised music. It's very unusual for me to play a melody in the beginning, like a recognised thing. So this is quite interesting, you know, so it's quite new, last, you know, a year and a half, 2 years. Usually I go on stage and improvise. You know, I said earlier, you filter things out. I played all different musics, but I realised improvising was what I wanted to do. And so I cut out a lot of stuff I didn't want to do, written music, I cut it all out and just improvised. And that's my favourite song, Improvising.
Fantastic. Well, it was absolutely lovely talking to you today, and I hope you have a fantastic show tonight.
Yeah, so do I, and thanks for inviting me. Okay, thank you very much. My name is Paul Dunmall and you're watching Leicester Jazz House TV.